absolutely nothing you can do. See, the point is, you don't know how much future you've got. What's gone is gone. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Some of you have had divorces. Some of you have probably had bankruptcies. Some of you have had terrible things happen in the past. But what's gone is gone. It's in the past. And to spend your time focusing on the past is to spend the only thing that you've got, and that's what's right here, right now, because the sand never stops running. This is all we've got. And to spend your time now thinking of what happened there is making absolute certain that the future is going to be the same as the past. Now, I don't suppose many of us spend a lot of time thinking about that, but a lot of us spend a lot of time making that error. That's an excellent symbol. All you got is now. I remember years and years ago, I suffered with headaches, terrible headaches. I got to the point where I was taking Bufferin for the headaches. Then I got to the point where I was taking Sinutab with codeine for headaches. It was 16 in the bottle, and I got to the point where I was taking 2 bottles a day. As a matter of fact, most times I didn't even remember my head not aching. But I was sort of numb all the time. Of course, with that much junk in you, I guess you couldn't be any other way. And I remember talking to this chap. I was in the Hotel Vancouver, and I was picking up 2 heavy briefcases or suitcases, and I was in a real rush to get to the airport. He said, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "You look like you're going to pass out." And I said, "I feel like I am." Well, he said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "My head is aching so bad, I feel sick to my stomach." Now, some of you suffer with this, and I felt like banging my head against the wall. It was so much pain. He said, "Go and sit down in that chair." And I said, "I don't have time. I got to catch a plane." He said, "Listen, you can always get another plane. You only get one head." He said to me, "Do you know what forgive means?" And by the way he asked the question, I just thought I probably don't. And I said, "Well, I don't know." He says, "Forgive means let go of completely, abandon. Just let it go. Unequivocally. No strings attached." Now, he said, if you want to rid yourself of headaches, just forgive all thoughts that are on your mind. And you just listen to me. And he put me in a totally relaxed state. I felt better than I had felt for years. Because you're going to find that your head is aching because of the things that you're not letting go of.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Starting it off with a little bit of Bobby P. And that is honestly a video. I heard that video 3 years ago, and it changed me forever because it really just, it made me sit in the moment and think about how many of us are sitting right here, right now, with our shoulders tensed up, right? With our jaw a little bit tight, with a breathing pattern that's maybe a little bit fast. I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat. This is called Just Let It Go, right? I'll go ahead and drop it down for everybody, but this is big, right? And literally in a matter of seconds, and while Bob is literally in the middle about to go take a flight, one of his mentors is able to calm him down literally by being able to let go of thoughts, of feelings, of emotions that we're carrying like dead weight. So for today, I've got a phenomenal training for you today. We are going over exactly what Bob was talking about, being able to take the dead weight and let it go, right? So this is a phenomenal training. So before we go ahead and dive in, what is everybody grateful for today? TGIM, thank goodness it is Monday, fired up, ready for the start of the week. I'm grateful for God, grateful for each of you, grateful to be healthy, grateful to be alive, grateful for the momentum, grateful for the lessons, grateful for this month of August, right? I've seen it. You all have seen there's been a huge shift in the energy, in the momentum, in our thoughts, our journaling, our meditations. Our morning routine has been absolutely on fire, and I cannot wait to see it continue, right? We've got multiple checkpoints. We've got the 7-day checkpoint. Some of you have already knocked that out. And then we're coming into the second one the 21 days. Some of you are getting really close. I'm on day 18. Some of you guys are right there as well. Yacelia's been on fire. Shane and Talina, so proud of you guys. Simone, Lady Boss Nikki, Horizon J, you guys have done absolutely phenomenal. And let's go ahead and get into it for this Monday, right? So today we're going to be talking about letting go of the weight. So this is big, okay? This is really big. So I want you guys to go ahead and envision, you know, this was a training even inside the Karate Kid. This one goes way back. You could take something that's so simple. This bottle right here, holding this is pretty light, right? Holding this right here, I could probably do this for a little bit, but what happens if I carried this for an hour? How about for 2 hours? How about 5? Right? Eventually, even though this is less than 5 pounds, this eventually would get too heavy for me to carry. And eventually, I would need to put it down. So if you think about what's going on in most of our lives, even though you don't think that it's very heavy, well, here's the deal. When you carry it for a period of time, eventually it starts to weigh you down. So today I wanted everybody to think about what do we have in life? What is the dead weight that we're holding on to that's weighing down all different areas, right? Here's the truth, okay? This could be from so many different aspects. I'm going to go ahead and get into it, right? When it comes to dead weight, I'm talking can be in literally all 6 pillars of life that we really have to dive in and look at. 11:11, paint your vision. So the dead weight, right? What is the dead weight in our relationships? Maybe we're not spending enough time with family, and that's creating issues, that's creating conflicts that bleeds into other pillars, right? Maybe our body, we could not be spending the time needed to go ahead and get in the gym, to go ahead and start drinking the right alkaline water, to start eating whole foods, and we've been neglecting that. And guess what? That dead weight, it shows right here. The dead weight shows. If you guys have been eating junk food, if you've been eating processed foods, if you've been putting things in the microwave, guess what that creates on literally physically on your body? Dead weight. And you can literally go look in the mirror and you can see the result of what's been happening from eating the wrong foods. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. What happens when we stop journaling, when we stop reading, when we stop listening to personal development? We start to create dead weight inside of our mind. We start to create fog, and then it becomes really hard to take action. Right? Even a little bit further. Dead weight could be things as being afraid to speak, being afraid to make a video, being afraid to put ourselves out there on social media, because here's the deal. It might not seem like a big deal for a day, for 5 days, for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month. As a month goes by, we look back and we only have 3 posts on our social media. That dead weight right there, that inaction is creating a ripple effect that you have no idea how much it could actually be contributing to different areas of your life, because how we do anything ends up being how we do everything, right? So if you're fearful in one area, that can bleed off into different aspects, because the truth is maybe you're not posting on social media because it has something to do with your other pillars. Maybe you're having conflicts with different areas that's creating you to not want to take action in other areas. For instance, you're not confident in your body. You don't feel like you look good on camera, so you're afraid to show other people what you look like. So you're okay with putting out a story, but you're scared to make a video because it sticks longer than 24 hours. We've all been there. I've been there myself. But this is why it's so important, even starting this week off, to really think about all pillars of our life, because there's dead weight in some of our pillars that's bleeding off into the other ones, that's stopping us from taking the action that we want to take. And I've been there, right? So this was my goal, to really put things in perspective, okay? We could put it even farther as, think about an air balloon, okay? We can all be sitting in an air balloon right now, and we can blow it up with as much air as we want, but if we don't ever take the weights off, it's never going to get off the ground. So many of us, we have the same thing is happening inside of our life, and I know what the feeling is like. We can feel like we're making the calls, we're getting on the Zooms, we're writing notes, we're showing up, but it seems like there's just something missing. Something is off. There's a tweak that needs to be made. Well, the truth is, it comes from figuring out where the dead weight is, so we can now pick off and take off the weight and finally get off of the ground. You saw it even with Neno, right? He just talked about how 7 months went by. Now we started taking the time to focus on his body, and now he had quantum leaps because it bleeded off into other pillars of his life. So the same thing goes for all of us, right? If we can go ahead and master all 6 of these pillars and really go ahead and take an in-depth look this week, this is where I believe the true quantum leap lies. What do you want your body to look like, right? What do you want our trading account to look like? What do we want the impact to look like as we're coming in to the next 5 months? It starts with the internal work, digging deep and figuring out where do we need to put the focus, where do we need to take the scissors to cut off what we don't need so we can have more of what we want and less of what we don't want. Okay? So what do you guys feel like is some of the dead weight that's on you right now? Go ahead and drop it down below. What do you feel like it is? Here's another piece of dead weight. Ego. I'm going to give you a real one right here. Ego is one of the biggest pieces of weight that any of us could hold on to. And you know the truth? It's tiring as well. It's very tiring having to wake up every day in the mindset of thinking that we have to go prove something to the world. We have to go prove something to our parents. We have to go prove something to the naysayers. We have to go prove something to the individuals that are around us. Well, you know what the truth is? We don't have to prove anything to anybody. I stopped trying to prove others wrong, and I started working on proving myself right. You see the difference? You're no longer worried about other people's approvals. You no longer have the addiction of worrying about what other people think, and now you can truly have freedom. I love it. You guys are hitting the gym, not working out properly. Yes, this is big. I love it. Huge. Okay. So here's the idea. Here's the ideology for the ego. Okay. I wonder what happens inside of our lives if we do one little thing. What happens when we don't hold on to ego? Because here's the thing. If we hold on to ego most of the times, we drop love. This is what happens. But what if we did the opposite? What if we could drop the ego and hold on to love? Because you see, when you have an ego, you're not celebrating when other people win. When you see other people win, you get jealous. In fact, instead of getting motivated, right? Being able to celebrate other success. When you celebrate, you accelerate your own success, right? Being able to have an ego. Some individuals, we make a certain amount of money, we get to a certain level, and we stop doing the things that we needed to do to really go ahead and keep us there. So this is all levels that I've had to go through along the course of the journey that can save you all a bunch of time. So when you move with love and you don't have an ego, you're in the chats, you're showing love, you're go ahead and you're giving back, because here's what you understand. For us in this industry, if you can be able to give without the expectation of getting something in return, this is where the abundance happens, right? What if somebody's not ready to join your business and you're willingly able to go ahead and give them one of these Zoom calls, maybe like a Mornings with Neno, maybe like a Rise and Shine with Define, you just being able to give without expecting anything in return? Here's the deal. You just gave them value. And now you never know the relationship that you just made because you were able to drop the ego and move with love, move with being an individual of service. Because I'm telling you, when you give and you don't expect, you never know how much actually comes back to you inside of all different aspects of our life. So this is big. And the last thing I wanted to go ahead and talk about with dead weight, I want to give you guys a visual. Okay, I got this over the weekend and this was huge. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about your most ideal, exotic beast that you can think of right now. If you could literally just close your eyes, press a button, you could transport and teleport there right here, right now. Where would you be? Would you be in Ibiza? Would you be in Greece? Would you go out to Spain? Would you go out to Colombia? Would you go out to the clear blue waters of the Dominican Republic? Imagine that beach, okay? You're at that beach. You're sitting there with your significant other, with your family. Now, I want you to imagine that you're holding dead fish. You're holding on to dead fish. You're at the most beautiful beach that you could ever be at in the world. But you know what starts to happen when you hold dead fish? Guess what happens? I don't know if you guys have ever been to the beach. You ever seen the seagulls that come around, the birds that start coming around, nagging you, right? They're always looking for food. They're flying around. You're like, oh, get out of here. Get out of my way. This is what happens in our life. We could be at the most blissful place. We could put you at the most amazing place in the world. But if we're still holding on to this dead weight, here's the truth. You're not even going to be able to enjoy the happiness. You're not even going to be able to enjoy the present moment because we're holding on to dead weight. And that dead weight could be, in your heart, there's things that we've been afraid to do that we know could be holding us back, but we've been so afraid to do it, and it's compounded over time. And we've just said, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow happens. Then we don't end up doing it. And that feeling gets worse, because when we say we're going to do something and then we don't do it, it creates shame. It creates all types of negative emotions that none of us need to experience. Nikki experienced that leaving South Africa for the USA. It's real. This is things that I'm telling you right now. I would rather you learn this lesson early before you get to a point where you reach all this abundance and you still have some type of dead weight and you can't even appreciate the moment. So, different ways to alleviate the dead weight. What are things in our life that we've been putting off because we've been afraid to do? We've been worried about what other people think. We've been stressing about other people's opinions, so we've just put it off. We've just put it under the rug. These are the things I believe that if we run at this week, if we run at this month, this is where the quantum leaps are going to happen. And we've already started to see it inside of the journaling, inside of the meditation, inside of starting to work out and eat a little bit better and drink more alkaline liquids. This is the shift, and I can already see it. So I can't wait to see what happens when we continue this journey, when we keep pressing the gas and really see what our true potential really is. So family, if you guys got any value from today, go ahead and smash the like button, drop some sevens down below if you are ready to go ahead and take the dead weight, whatever it is for you, and let it go and see what truly lies inside. So family, I love you guys. Is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. If nobody told you today, I believe in you. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. You are absolutely an abundant, amazing soul. And I cannot wait for the journey to continue. So family, I will see you guys at the top because the whole squad is coming up tomorrow. Let's go. It's game time.